Stand by for ludicrous speed.
Okay, my dear Greg Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great. Your go.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders!
Wow! Hey, great!
Good. Look at it.
We interrupt this sound file to bring you a terrifying announcement.
Are you aware that you're leaking coolant at an alarming rate?
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Well, I'm glad we got all that out in the open.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Saturday Morning Stateline Show.
And you know, friends, water is technically what a rainbow tastes like. Sorry, Skittles. I'm Greg. He's Tom.
Wow.
Stateline Show.
Okay, so that means if you're drinking yellow water because it tastes like a rainbow, never mind. Never mind.
Don't eat the yellow snow if there's any left. We've got a jam-packed program for you on this Saturday morning. It is the 12th day of March, the year 2022, the latest it has ever been
in the history of mankind.
And you made it. Congratulations. We're so glad to have you. Joann will be joining us here shortly.
Me and my Snoopy cup. There we go. It is a Christmas cup, but oh, see, now you got me all screwed up with the backward thing, Greg.
That looks great.
Oh my God, I know, but I'm way off. Everything's backwards for me. I'm gonna
entered the show today. Everything was backwards to me, so I had him switch his camera, mirror his camera, so his Packers logo was correct.
Okay, so my teddy bear wall, which you see, oh God, oh geez, right there, which you see right there. Where am I? Okay, that's actually on the other side of the room. And see, I didn't. For me, when I'm looking at it, it's not there. It's there.
That's awesome.
It's never mind. It's hard to explain.
The magic of television, which we never had to deal with all of our years on the radio. That's all we're saying, folks. That's all we're saying.
No, that's right. That's right.
We have a big number of the week to share with you this week, and it's not a huge number, but it's big enough. 57,789 is the big number of the week. Yeah, right on.
That's very specific.
Very specific.
57,789.
789. The answer this week is relief or Russia. Relief or Russia is the answer. And can you hear Veda barking in the background?
I can. Either that or it was your wife barking at you.
You know what's going on.
Get off of the radio and do your chores. Anyway.
My wife went to get donuts. So she's probably coming back right now from getting donuts, and Veda's just making sure it's her and not an intruder.
Okay.
That's what's going on upstairs right now. All right. Anyway, as we get our show started, I'm often checking our streams just to see how things are looking, and we are streaming all over the place. We're on YouTube, we're on our Facebook Saturday Morning Stateline Show page, we're on my personal Facebook page, which is limited to just my friends. And shortly, Tom, we expect to be on LinkedIn.
Really?
LinkedIn's a little different. You can't just webcast live on LinkedIn without them first approving you. They're like the Canadian government. So,
yeah. Okay, just to interrupt for just 1 second. Is that better? Now it's much better for me.
Now,
look at you. Look at that.
I just went ahead and expanded our heads since it's just you and me talking at the beginning of the show here.
All right. So now I'm normal. Now my teddy bears are right here, right there, and that's where they are. They're right there. So
they're not backwards.
Wow.
They're not upside down. They're not mirrored.
Well, they are mirrored. Everything's mirrored now because if you look, you still got the G backwards.
If I mirror myself, I have a virtual background right now. So if I mirror myself, here's what happens. Meow, 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 meow. So
yeah,
technically, I'm not mirroring myself right now. It's just the setup that I currently have.
All right. So when you read here, the big number of the week, you can't see it now. Big number of the week. Can you read it? Does it read backwards or does it read normal?
It reads backwards.
It reads backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
It reads backwards.
All right. That's fine. Wow.
And because I have a virtual background setting right now, there's Tom with
7
on me. So let's see if I can go ahead and change.
Is it 7-1?
It's currently 7-2.
7-2. Wow.
You are way up on Joann, and
it's like the 96 Bulls or the 90 whatever.
All right,
72 and 10.
Now you can see all my mess behind me today I turn my virtual background down. And there's your score, though. Tom won the last race to 10, and currently he's way up, 7-2. Is this an insurmountable lead? Possibly.
Oh, we'll see.
Possibly.
I gotta think this one through.
All right. So let's go back to our Saturday background. That's my favorite one, I think. All right. Lots to shout out this week. Before we get to, I guess, shout outs, don't forget it's daylight savings time weekend, spring forward, which most of us don't like. Some people love it.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Here's one reason why. I'll give you my radio reason, and I'll give you my reason for today. Why?
There's a radio reason.
There's a radio reason. When I was back in the day, my first go around at ROK, I was in charge of all live programming. We went for a while without a PD, and I wasn't the PD. I wasn't even the acting PD, but I did the job of the PD. I did all the scheduling. I was in charge of all live programming because I ran the Charlie and Suzanne show, the Cunningham show, and anything else in between. And then on Saturdays, I would do the Saturday morning show with first it was Andy Gannon, then it was Liz Isham, Liz and Alan, as a matter of fact, Alan Jones. And then as things morphed, I would have to find somebody to work the Saturday night overnight because we were 24/7 board up back then, back in the middle to later 90s.
Good old days.
Yes. Back when it was cool. I could never keep anybody for Saturday nights. So finally I just said, you know what? I will do Saturday nights. And I started doing Saturday nights. And I realized a couple times, I did it for almost 2 years. I realized a couple times that I'm getting screwed over here. It's like 2 a.m. and boom, now it's 1 a.m. But then when you fall behind, it goes from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. So that was cool. But that's what was really weird about it, is that now you got that extra hour.
You'd get paid 1 hour less.
I was salary anyway, so it didn't matter.
Bring backward.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I forget how our station used to handle that back in the day, because I did overnights. During a spring forward, but I don't think I was there when we fell back. So that one overnight where we sprung forward, it was a good deal for me.
Use a good deal. You get home an hour early. Okay, so now here's my other reason. Tomorrow morning, every Sunday morning, and I've done this for 20 years, my best buddy and I, one of my best friends. I got a lot of best friends, I guess. We've known each other for 21 years now. 21 years. Him and his son and my son, same age, a few months apart. They were instant friends the day we moved in and Matthew went around the neighborhood, found Andy. They became almost instant best friends. Well, then he's like, "Hey, Dad, you should meet Andy's dad. He's cool." Okay, cool. Let's do it. So I met him, and we became instant friends. Well, we've been doing breakfast / lunch, whichever, for almost 21 years now. About 20 years. I've known him for 21. We started doing this breakfast thing with another friend. And you know Ron. You used to work with him.
I know Ron. Yep.
You know Ron, and you also know Dan. It was Dan Lauder. So those are the three of us were kind of like the Three Musketeers. We did that for about 8 or 9 years, and then Dan moved down to Missouri about 10 years ago, 9, 10, 12 years ago, whatever it was. So then Ron and I have kept it up. Okay, now long way. That's my deviation there, or my what do you call it? My
bunny trail. He went down the bunny trail.
My bunny trail. There you go. Well, anyway, so Ron now lives in Stillman. They moved down to Stillman, so we meet in Byron every Sunday morning at 6:30. Okay. I'm not giving up breakfast, and neither is he. But for him to come all the way in town because he still works in town, that's rough for him. So I'll go down to Byron once a week. I don't care.
That's cool.
So I go down to Byron and we do our breakfast thing. But what's going to happen now is tonight I'm going to lose that hour. So getting up at 5:15 to be down there, to leave at 6, be down there by 6:30 means I'm getting up at 4:15. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my shower tonight. I'm going to lay out all my clothes because I go straight from there to church. So, I will lay out my clothes. I'll be completely and totally ready for church. So I'll get up at about what will essentially be 4:40. It'll be 5:40. I'll get dressed really quick, brush my teeth, do whatever, and go and be there by 6:30.
There you go. So you're not normally a lay out your clothes the night before kind of a guy. You only do that on Saturday nights for Sunday?
No, I do sometimes. It all depends. I don't usually. I get up early enough in the morning. I don't need to lay out my clothes. Okay. But when I'm going to, like, for example, when I was doing the morning show at the radio station just fairly recently, for Riley and Scott, is before Joe took over. I would lay out my clothes the night before. I would have my lunch made. I would have my breakfast made. I would have, whatever. I would have everything done. And I would get up at about 3:00, be out the door by 3:20 and be there by 3:30.
If you want to sleep better, just lay out your day for the next day before you go to bed at night. Yeah. You're going to sleep better.
For the record, I love radio, but I absolutely abhor 3:30 in the morning. When you've got, here's the problem. What I had to do, you did it yourself. You've done that shift a few times. When we have to get Rush, we have to get Hannity, we have to get the Illini report, we had to get all of these different things that we were doing back then. Obviously, Rush no more, but and then we would have to get the newscast. That would be lucky to get by 4:45, and then you got to chop it up and put the weather in there and the tag, and then this and then that. Yeah. And then we'd have to, I don't know if you remember this, we'd have to go over to the Eagle and do 4 weather reports for the Eagle. Do you remember doing that? I know you didn't do it as much. Yeah, oh my goodness, that was
just a few times filling in during the Christmas break.
And then by 5:00, I've already put in what felt like 3 hours, and it's an hour and a half.
Yeah,
it's a
if you're good at it, you get it done in about 80 minutes. So.
No, I got it done. I mean, I got it done, but man, it was a very harried, 60 minutes, hour and 15 minutes, whatever. And God bless Bertram. He was such a smart guy, and he could just boom, boom, boom. Very comforting. That guy could calm me down if I'm. Oh, he was. He could calm me down. He'd jump in there and be like, Scott, I'm having trouble getting the news feed and all that. And it was one function I was missing because as you got everything going on, it's tough to remember everything because I didn't do it all that often. I wasn't
the
regular
years that
guy.
I did the morning show in Rochelle. I was basically up at 3:30 and I was there by 4:30 and I had stuff to. I was on the air by 5. I think the first actual live thing I did was at 5:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly. So, but though that was 6 years of morning show down there. And I enjoyed it. I love doing the mornings. I felt most creative in the early morning hours, but yeah, it was a little different lifestyle when you have to get up that early in the morning. That part I don't miss. I do kind of like sleeping in now, but this is the only day of the week now I purposely get up early.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, that's oddly enough, this is the only day I get to sleep in.
Right.
I'm up at 5:30 every morning because I get over to Scott's. I take care of a quad, in case any of you don't know that. And I'm there usually by 7:15, 7:20 in the morning. Make coffee, get him up around 8 o'clock. And then this morning, Saturday mornings, I get to sleep in till 6:30, 6:45, whatever. I did get up at about 6:15 today, but that was sleeping in for me. And then tomorrow, of course, getting up at 4:30, which is really 5:30.
Yoo-hoo. Well, a few shout outs this week. Not a whole lot of real stuff related stuff, although I'll get into something a little bit later, but I did get a property under contract this week, which I'm kind of excited about because the buyer is able to do cash and close quickly, which is kind of cool. It's nice to not have to compete against all the buyers, with financing contingencies and stuff like that. This guy was like, cash, name your closing date, we'll do it. I was like, boom, awesome.
Wow, those are the kind of customers you like.
Those are the top one. Yeah, those are the fun ones. Shout outs this weekend we got to go to a couple of musicals. Harlem High School did their musical last weekend, and Harlem was doing the Putnam County Spelling Bee, 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, which I had never seen before, and enjoyed seeing that last weekend. They did a great job. They actually brought my wife up on stage they made her part of the play. They grabbed, I think, three or four people out of the audience to sit in the spelling bee. And spoiler alert, if you've never seen the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee before, one of the words they give to the audience members is a totally fake word. And it doesn't matter how you spell it. They're going to tell you spelled it right and you get to stay in.
Oh, geez.
And that was the word they gave to my wife.
What's the word? I was just curious.
All I remember is it started with an H, and it was an odd sounding, but it wasn't a real word. It was a made up word. And she gave it some thought, she spelled it out phonetically, and they told her it was right. And then she was all surprised because we were under the assumption they were going to exit the audience member people right away. No, you stay in there for at least one musical number and pretend you know what you're doing, dancing around on stage. It's hilarious.
That's funny. I have a spelling story for you when you're done with this.
Well, that was last weekend. Enjoyed that a lot. And then last night we went to Hononegah High School's musical. They're doing Beauty and the Beast this weekend. So if you get a chance to take the kids out to see Beauty and the Beast, I'm sure they'll enjoy seeing Belle and the Beast and Gaston, good singers and fun.
It's a tale as old as time.
It truly is. So
I learned something the other day at trivia. Gaston was not in the original Beauty and the Beast. He was in the movie that they made in middle to late 80s, early 90s, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the enemies were the sisters, I guess.
The enemies were sisters.
Yeah, the mortal enemy. There's always a mortal enemy in those Disney movies. Were either her sisters or the Beast's sisters.
Oh, the Beast.
Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. It was just it was one question, and we did not know it. We put villagers. So
awesome. All right. Did you have a spelling story?
Well, okay. What I have is a trivia story, and it involves spelling as well. I'll give you we had our trivia tournament last week. Out of 55 points, first round we scored 54. That was our 50% round. Out of 55 in the second round, the music round, we scored 47. That's unheard of. That's very good. We missed 3, a 5, a 2, and a 1. 47 points. Third round, we'll get to that later. Fourth round was our photo round. We missed 1. We had 54. I mean, we were absolutely kicking butt. And then the final round, the common denominator, and I know you played Mike's trivia before, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yep. We had 65 out of 65.
65
we ended up out of 65. We nailed it completely. Got all 10 plus the 10 points because it was 55 plus the 10. All right, so the third round, We ended up, by the way, taking third place with 242 points. The first place team, well, I'll tell you what the first place team had in a second. But here is how it all broke down. We were 18 points out of second place because second place were tied with 260. So we're 18 points out. On the third round, we ended up with 22 points out of 55. Everybody did poorly on it. There were a couple of questions that we should have gotten right. There were 3 questions that we absolutely.
Guess yourself.
We had a couple of members on the team that were like, no, I'm not sure. I don't think so. And as a team, we collectively decided to go with this, and that. So part of it was my fault. Part of it was someone else's fault. It's fine. It is what it is. But if we'd have gotten those 3 answers, we'd have won second place, which we would have went from 8th to 2nd. We'd have had like 264. Oh man, it's going to haunt me for a long, long time. So anyway, one of the questions that we only gave a 1 to was baccalaureate. Spell baccalaureate.
Ooh, that's a tough
We
one.
got it right. I didn't. I'm a good speller, but no, I would have been 1 or 2 letters off, transposed, maybe add a T, maybe add a U or whatever. But we had a couple people that matched up. They're like, yeah, we're pretty sure that was it. But we gave it a low number. So we ended up with our 10 and our 9 and our 2 and our 1. That's 22 points. Had we gotten the 10 and the 9 and then given the 2 and 1 an 8 and a 7, that right there would have been 34 points. And then had we gotten the 3 questions that we should have, or even one of the 3 questions that we should have, we'd have had 40 points, which would have given us the necessary 18, which would have tied us for second. And then you add 1 more to that, and we missed 3 that we should not have. So anyway, that's my.
You did well.
Yeah.
You did well.
We did. We had fun.
I'm gonna, you know what? Joanne's already ready, and so I'm sure she just can't wait to talk Packers with us, right, Joanne?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, Packers.
Hi, Joanne.
Go Pack, go. He's making a lot more money than me.
Isn't he? Yeah.
Well, not a whole lot, but you know.
Yeah.
He's racking up the money. A couple last things for shout outs this week is we did have a Rockford LinkedIn lunch networking lunch yesterday at Machine Shed and had a really great time with our buddy Jeremy Ramsey, who was on our show a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Jeremy presented talking about death and taxes. It was a wonderful time. So,
the two inevitabilities.
Right. He's a great speaker. A chance to hear him speak. He's a really, really great presenter. So kudos to Jeremy Ramsey for presenting at the Rockford Link lunch yesterday. And this is basically the kickoff weekend for all things rehearsals for Starlight Theater. So as I mentioned 2 years ago, I did receive a role in Hello Dolly, and I decided to go ahead and take that role. And again, they've offered it to me again, so I got to have the role of Rudolfo. I think Rolf, the head waiter at the restaurant.
Not a minister.
Not a minister this time. Although who knows? Maybe I'll be wearing something that looks ministerial. I'll be wearing a waiter's uniform, which might kind of look.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, that's all kicking off.
And what is the play that you're doing?
Dolly?
Hello, Dolly. Oh, hello, Dolly. Yes, I got to learn that song because I start the song. The head waiter starts the song, at least in the movie he does. I'm guessing in the musical he does too.
Are you going to do it in Louis Armstrong fashion? Well, hello, Dolly. Oh, hello, Dolly.
I don't know if my voice can handle doing that a whole entire week in a row. That'd be tough.
Yeah.
That might be tough on the voice. So we'll see about that. So
just put some rocks in your mouth. It'll make it gravelly.
10 weeks.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the shout outs for this week. I guess we visited another restaurant this week that we've been to once before, the Pancheros de Plaza, or in front of McChesney Park Mall. Just haven't had a bad meal there yet. They're excellent. Did them before the musical last night. And all things Packers related. I did not find the clip. I didn't have time this week to go back and find the clip, but I do believe on this very show, when you and I, Tom, talked about Aaron Rodgers' future, my prediction was a monster extension of at least 4 years, and that's about what it sounds like he did do.
Yeah, that's good. Good call.
I felt that way. I just felt that was his best option and the Packers' best option to have a winning team for the next few seasons.
Yeah.
Two or three.
Well, are you talking to us?
Yes. Who else am I talking to? How many?
Well, I don't know. You were having a conversation with your dog buddies over there. I don't know. How many what? How many years?
How many years is he extended now for?
4.
The report is 4 years.
Okay. I'm actually talking Packers. Give me a break.
Good. You'll like this then. All right. So, Greg, you and I were kind of talking about it in the beginning in our show prep thing. Here's what I was talking about. What were the 4 or 5 things Aaron Rodgers was looking for? Okay, he's looking for a good defense. He's looking for a good coaching staff. He's looking for a team he can connect with. He's looking for a team that's considered to be the best in the NFL, ready to win now, Super Bowl ready now. He's looking for a good GM. All of these things Aaron Rodgers has been looking for. My buddy made a comment. He says, Aaron Rodgers wasn't going anywhere. He was playing it and playing it and playing it. He may be right about that. He probably is. But if you think about it, why would he leave? Let's just say he goes to Denver. Why? You don't know anybody in Denver. You know Nathaniel Hackett. That was your quarterback's coach, offensive coordinator. But it doesn't even matter because Matt LaFleur is the offensive coordinator for the Packers. He's the head coach and he calls the plays. Nathaniel Hackett didn't call the plays. But anyway, Nathaniel Hackett's a good football man. Denver did well with getting him. That would have been the only reason that Aaron Rodgers would have went to Denver, because you don't know any of the players. He's got him and Devontae are just in sync. Their hearts beat together.
Yeah.
You don't get that until you're 2, 3, 4 years with somebody.
That's a good thing and a bad thing. That ended up being a bad thing in the San Francisco playoff game because Rodgers decided he was going to Adams no matter what and threw into double coverage instead of hitting Allen Lazard wide open for a first down the middle.
That would have been a touchdown. I know exactly what you're talking about. Allen Lazard was right over the middle and he missed him. Or he didn't. He threw to Devontae.
Yes.
I agree with you. That was on Aaron Rodgers.
So Aaron Rodgers, I still haven't seen any published deal of what the actual terms are, and will they do that? I would think that they will.
Well, they will have to at some point. They can't just put it out there and then announce it in July. But here's the thing. This is why I think you haven't seen it. Because what the Packers have done, and kudos to Brian Gutekunst. He is a terrific GM. Hi, Joann. How are you?
No, I've got something on my screen. I'm sorry.
It's your finger.
No, shush.
Oh, she just shushed me. Wow. Okay, so Brian Gutekunst is, I think, GM of the year. What he did was he restructured Kenny Clark's contract. They're going to franchise Devontae, which is fine. That's probably what they needed to do. You can't afford to lose Devontae, because if you got Aaron Rodgers without Devontae Adams, well, what's the point? Because they're what do we call them, Joann? A bonded pair? They're a bonded pair. So you've got a lot of contracts that needed to be restructured, and that's what Brian Gutekunst did. He restructured 3 or 4 different contracts. He top-loaded or end-loaded a lot of these contracts. So basically for the Packers, it is win now. You've got a 2-year window. Win now. Because Aaron Rodgers won't make the 4th year of his contract. He won't. He'll either be moved out of town, or he'll just simply say, you know what, I'm done. I'm too sore. He's not going to make it to 44 like Tom Brady did. He just won't. He's had much more injuries than Tom Brady. He's had 2 broken shoulders, each shoulder. He's had a bad knee. He had a bad ankle. He's fairly well
MVP the last 2 years in a row. So
yes, he was, because he's still a very athletic 37-year-old, athletic 38-year-old. He may not be as athletic a 39-year-old, certainly not as athletic a 40-year-old. He will probably have 2 good years on him, and then the Packers will suffer. But in the meantime, they will probably deal Jordan Love for maybe a 2nd round. Some team will see something and take a chance. They'll use that 2nd rounder, pair it with a 1st rounder, go out and get a quarterback. Maybe they'll draft up, and in 2 years they will get Aaron Rodgers' replacement. And if they're lucky, they'll get a Joe Burrow. If they're lucky, they'll get a Patrick Mahomes. If they're lucky, right. And I think they're smart enough and good enough to be able to do that. Now we also talk.
There's a freshman in high school right now that's going to be Aaron Rodgers' replacement.
You mean a freshman in college?
Or maybe a senior in high school right now is going to be Aaron Rodgers' replacement.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a few of them out there. There are some good quarterbacks right now that are a good freshman class. So who knows? But the Jordan Love thing, it didn't work. But they also know it. They're not going to just say, well, you know what? We want to save face. We don't want to look bad. They're okay with looking bad. Just move on.
I don't even want to think about post Aaron Rodgers Packers right now, because now that they've got him signed, and you're like you say, for the next at least 2 years, I think it's a solid thing. After that, it's a big still question mark. So the biggest question mark lately has been if there's going to be a baseball season. That got settled yesterday or the day before. All 162 games will be played.
They did go back to that.
They did, yeah. The 99-day lockout was the second longest work stoppage in MLB history. That's because they started it way back in, what was it, December, and just did nothing for 2
and did nothing, yeah. So, the longest since, 94? When they canceled the season altogether in August?
That was odd. That was really weird.
It was really odd because the White Sox with Bo Jackson, everything, they were the best team in baseball. They were the best team in baseball.
So new labor deal is in place. Some of the changes. Here's some of the changes, and see if Joann gets all upset about this. Calling on you, Joann. There's an expanded postseason. There will now be 12 teams in the playoffs when the playoffs start in the fall. There was talk of 14. Hopefully they never do that. That's too much. That's crazy, watered down. That's like hockey or whatever with every.
Well, yeah, that's what football did this past year. 14 teams, although it did work out well. It did work
for football, but baseball.
I loved the one bye, the first team, top team getting the bye. I loved it. I thought it was good.
In the National League, here, all right, settle yourself, Joann. Don't calm down. In the National League, pitchers no longer hit. They're going to the designated hitter.
Oh man.
This has been coming for years. This has been coming for, and thankfully, it's finally here. No more pitchers having to hit. Although there is a team, I believe, called the Angels with a pitcher that
Shohei Ohtani. Absolutely, so he will hit.
Pitching. Can they allow him to hit? That's my question. Do you have to designate it hit, or can the pitcher hit if they want him to?
He can hit. Of course, he can hit. They will not pull him out. No way.
You would not do that.
The only way you would do that. Now, if you pull him out as a DH, you can't put him back in. Like, for example, if Shohei Ohtani is pitching, he's hitting in the 4th inning, and then all of a sudden in the 6th inning, you don't want him to hit because you need runs, and you've got Mike Trout coming up or whatever. You're not going to pinch hit for him because I don't think you'd be able to pinch hit for him then and then keep him in the game. So there's a bit of a strategy there. You're going to have to make that decision as to whether he's going to hit, because that'll determine, him being the pitcher, whether he stays in the game or not.
That's a rare exception to the rule as far as wanting pitchers to hit. He's someone.
Tom would figure that out.
All right. And then the last thing, and here's the thing that now I'm really afraid Joann's going to get set off. Guess what is going to be added to player uniforms?
Oh, no.
Advertising.
Oh. They're already doing it in basketball.
They're doing it everywhere else. Why do we have to do it in the Major League Baseball? Well, come on. No, you're gonna see Dasani on somebody's jersey or night. What else? What else? I don't know.
Red Bull. You've had the Nike swoosh on there for a long time.
Yeah, but that's just
just because it's the uniform, right?
No big deal. But there's going to be words. There's going to be actual advertising on baseball players' jerseys that the team has sold. That's going to be
not individual, but it's team, right?
What are we, NASCAR? Come on. Ben says, "Watch out! There's going to be Trojan."
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Trojan.
That's funny, Ben.
Wow. Yeah.
So
many places we could go with that, but we'll not.
more than likely you're going to see, I bet, like DraftKings and sports
Yeah.
betting apps and stuff like that.
Yeah. And my buddy makes a good point. He says, why is it that when you can see, I think it's FanDuel or whatever, on the back of the mound, because that's where they're putting advertisements there too. And by the way, they've been advertising ballparks and fences and all that for years. So what the heck? But he says, why is it that you can advertise gambling in baseball, yet Pete Rose is still not in the Hall of Fame? but Pete Rose did bet on his own team, and that's a big time violation. The other thing that Pete Rose did that a lot of people don't realize is he was kind of caught with an underage girl.
Well,
and
that I don't know about, but I do. What my thought has always been, unless he bet on his team to lose, there should be a little gray area there. If he bet on his team to win,
yeah, but you would have to prove that he bet to lose, not to win. I don't know if nobody keeps receipts for that kind of stuff, so you can't know that. And so therefore, the reason is you don't bet anything on your team.
Just call it
nothing. You can't bet. You can't even bet on baseball if you're a baseball player.
Joey, and they don't even follow receipts, man. Joey Joe's a good bookkeeper. He's got it all.
He's got it all. No, not those books. Those ones over there on the shelf. Yeah, those are the books you see. Not those.
All right. So there you go. There's that. Tomorrow's Selection Sunday, the full bracket will be picked for the 68-team NCAA men's basketball tournament.
Are we doing a tournament of 64 thing?
I don't know. I'm not organizing one. I know the guys over on WROK were supposedly putting one together, and I offered to join in on that one, but I haven't heard back since then. Selection
I
Sunday.
should go in there and do
tomorrow. The first game, the first, they call it the first four, that starts on Tuesday, and then the 64 begins, I believe, on Thursday.
Yeah.
So one of the most exciting things in sports, the brackets, the NCAA basketball tournament, college basketball is so much fun. Illinois got bounced out of the Big Ten tournament, so they've got a chip on their shoulder for the big tourney now.
Well, you know what? They were a number one seed last year because they won the Big Ten tournament last year. They were the number one seed. They beat Drexel in the first round and lost to Loyola in the second round. A number one seed done in the second round to an 8 seed. So it doesn't matter. I think they're in better shape this year because they've got a really good team, and they're going to get a fairly good draw, I think.
All right.
I think they will.
I'm not organizing a brackets, but if someone else is, I'd be glad to jump in and make a fool of myself. I'm not too far up on college basketball, but I sure love watching it. I love it. Okay, here's some other randoms for you today. As far as let's see, I want to do one of these. Where's my SMS info? I don't know why I'm doing this, but I am. There we go. SMS info time. Beep, doop, 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 doop. A recent survey, about 16% of American adults have invested in, traded, or otherwise used cryptocurrencies. That rises to about 43% of men aged 18 to 29. Either one of you buy, sell, or trade Dogecoin or Bitcoin or anything like that?
No.
Not yet?
No.
I think
I'm having trouble accumulating the green kind of money, let alone Bitcoin or anything else.
I'm still buying little bits of Dogecoin just because, in case it takes off. I want to have a bunch of it in case it takes off. So anyway, here's an interesting record. 8.2% of U.S. homes were valued at $1 million or more in February. That's the biggest number ever. 2 years ago, it was only 4.8%. This is according to Redfin. The top 6 metros with the highest share of $1 million homes were all in California, led by San Francisco. If you're looking for a steal, the city is Elgin, Illinois. Elgin has 0.1% of homes worth $1 million. That's last place amongst the 100 most populous U.S. metros, according to Redfin. So I can show homes in Elgin if you're looking over there, just in case.
No. Okay. So the 100 most populous, Elgin doesn't even come close to being top 100. Rockford's 135 or 1.
Well, 100 most populous U.S. metros.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure how exactly they call.
Yeah, because Elgin, if I'm not mistaken, has probably about 80,000 people, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm just curious.
Rockford's no longer the second city of Illinois. I think.
Oh God, no! I think we're fourth now.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a handful of $1 million listings in the Rockford Metro. Just so you know, there's a handful around us. If you want to see one, and you got the money to see it, I'm your guy right here. Your buyer specialist, Keller Williams. Here's
112,000. They are growing big time.
Okay.
So they're still not even close to us. We're 150. So
yeah. So that must be some other weird figure that they're using there.
Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt.
All right. Here's a couple of big dates to consider that are coming up quickly. March 25th. That is the day that Hawaii, the only remaining state with an indoor mask mandate, will lift all mask requirements. April 18th is when the CDC is scheduled to loosen all of the guidance for mask mandates on public transportation. So these moves would virtually mean all COVID restrictions will be lifted, marking an unofficial end of the pandemic here in the States by April 18th. And I think everyone's kind of feeling that now anyway. Everyone's done with these masks and done with everything else. Don't do that.
That's me being happy.
Oh, God. Stop it, Nancy. Just stop it. All right, here's some random big numbers that aren't big numbers for the big number of the week. In 2024, the Summer Olympics in Paris projected to cost over $4 billion. Speaking of sports, Tom Brady went on a licensing spree. He's filed for 26 applications with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, among things, protein bars and jewelry. Tom Brady jewelry. Who's buying TB jewelry? A study found in homes. Joanne's ready for some jewelry. A study found that in homes where dishes were washed by hand, children were 40% less likely to develop allergies.
That's interesting.
I'm not sure how that connects. Researchers also say cocoa may improve your brain function, so that would explain the astounding mathematical abilities of Count Chocula. Now we know.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I got some Reese cups around here. I need to feel a little smarter.
I got some. Is this going to show up as backwards? Got a Reese's peanut butter.
Whoa. Wait a minute. I think that was backwards. I can't see.
Reese's peanut butter trees.
Yeah, no, it didn't come backwards. It's good.
The right way. Olive Garden has unlimited soup.
I didn't have to get closer to see. We're all getting our chocolate out.
I got some chocolate. It's Christmas, apparently.
Families ever done Perpetual Stew?
Is that like stone soup?
Yes. A recipe that dates back centuries ago. Perpetual Stew. It's that crock pot or that pot on the stove that you always kind of keep somewhat warm and always there, and add stuff as you go. You remember the nursery rhyme: peas porridge hot, peas
porridge cold. Peas porridge in the pot, 9 days old.
There you go.
We had a cat named Porridge that was on the show.
We did. So Perpetual Stew, look it up if you want to just always have something available to eat and you just want to throw stuff in and keep it going. If you got meats, you throw in some meats. If you don't, you throw in some vegetables. The thing to watch out for is occasionally someone will throw in a vegetable that will kind of ruin it for a couple of weeks. Certain types of onions or certain types of herbs and stuff that overpower everything else. You want to be careful about that. Carrots are good, potatoes are good, whatever kind of beef or meat. Perpetual Stew. If you're trying to save money, that might be a thing to do for a while.
I worry about something on the stove all the time. Is it because I would think that it would cause bacteria.
You want to be careful. That's why you want to keep it warm all the time. You don't want to just
doesn't really do it to me.
No. Something to be careful about.
We used to have a foreign exchange student from Korea. His name was Leo. Great kid. He had a rice cooker on steroids. This thing was big. It was very big. He would cook rice on a Sunday and all week long. he would have rice, and it would stay cooking, kind of like the same concept. Rice isn't so bad. I don't know if rice spoils. Obviously it would over time, but for a week, kept warm at the same temperature, he'd have rice every single day.
Keep
And
keep mixing stuff in. Well, that's the randoms I got put together for you this week. I don't think I have.
It's not stew, it's soup. Perpetual soup.
Perpetual stew. Yeah, if you can throw some meat in there every once in a while, that's a good thing. Spring forward weekend, we already talked about that. Oh, our good buddy Michael Coolidge, by the way, he turned in his signatures this week, so he's officially on the ballot to run for the Illinois District 14 congressional seat, and we hope to talk to him. I talked to him about coming on the show, and because he's so busy campaigning, he's not sure he's going to be available on a Saturday morning before the primary. Yeah. But he did say he said he promised as soon as the primary's done. Right now, he's the front runner. He expects to win the Republican nomination, and he said then absolutely he'll be on the show to talk about how things.
Terrific.
So, if you have not yet looked up Michael Coolidge, Illinois 14th Congressional District, take a look at him. Please consider voting for him as your candidate. We would be represented well by Michael Coolidge here in Northern Illinois.
Michael's a good man. He is a good man. Very, very, very savvy, politically savvy.
Yes.
He knows what he's doing.
So that's our randoms for this week. And we're streaming on all the platforms. Everything's going smoothly. So I'm very happy about that. Thank you, Restream. Restream is rocking.
Tell me how well you can see this. You can't really.
I see cars.
I see cars.
You see what an awful, awful park job that is? That back left wheel
is that my car?
Yeah, it probably is. There's the license plate. That back left wheel there, or whatever it is 1 foot over the line. You can't see it in the picture. That's my pet peeve of the week. How do you park your car like that? And clearly it was the person who was badly parked after the other person, because there's no way the other person would have squeezed that in. They would have just opted for another spot. How?
Just assume they were in such a emergency hurry that they couldn't take the time to park properly.
Well, that was at Walmart, so unless they needed like a big candy bar or some milk or whatever, nobody's in that big of a hurry.
Right.
Because if it's an emergency, the prompt care is the other way. No, it's just
diabetic and needed to get sugar fixed right away. So
maybe so.
We'll forgive them that.
Well, that just infuriates me. Every time I see that, I take a picture of it so I can shame them publicly.
Come on, people.
I know that. One, I'm not perfect, and I know I make screw ups when I'm driving out. Sometimes I'm daydreaming and I veer, and someone's got to honk at me, and I'm my bad. I'm sorry. I always, mea culpa. That's on me. But when I had another person the other day, I was coming out of the Northtown parking lot. Apparently, I wasn't going fast enough. They were tailgating me in the parking lot so much so that if I'd have hit my brakes, boom, they'd have hit me.
Come on, Tom.
I get over to the little light. They went around me and ran the red light.
Wow. I've seen that a couple times.
Oh, my God.
But
But it's funny when they do that and then you meet them at the next red light.
Right?
Oh, they were gone. Sometimes you do. You're right. They had to get around you so they could be first to the light. Yeah.
I had someone do that on the highway and I was just like, you're looking, they were on the far left lane and they wanted to exit and they were zigzagging around cars. I was like, you're looking for an accident.
Yeah.
You spent all that energy to zigzag through all the traffic, and now you're next to me at the stoplight. Ha ha! And then you're first in line. I'm first in line on the right side. You're on the left side, and then the light switches, and you don't go. You're too busy looking at your phone or screwing around, and I'm 10 car lengths ahead of you before you actually finally leave the light.
I don't know. It's not worth it to me. I try to calm when I'm driving.
That's Mark. That's Tom's rant of the week.
Yeah, my rant of the week.
Sound effects for you, Tom.
Do not park near Tom.
I'm gonna send you a sound effect, and that'll be my rant of the week sound effect. Because I don't think I can upload it here. You have control over all that. So
That was just a slide whistle.
like this.
There you go.
It's a kazoo
He's
with
stealing
a horn
from
on
his
it.
grandchildren.
I actually bought
Wow.
this for myself.
Did you?
Yep. This was purchased, and this was purchased. The slide whistle and the kazoo to be. We were scheduled to do some stuff as a band that required some solo stuff that we didn't have. So I was like, I'll kazoo it for us. Let's just do it. You know.
As a band, what instrument do you play?
Oh, I sing and then I play kazoo and slide whistle.
Okay.
It's tambourine.
I can play CDs and I can play the radio.
There we go.
That's about it.
You're in.
You make the sound go high and low.
Do we have some new cats to check out today, Joann? Do we want to do a tour?
We have dogs today too.
We have
Although they've
dogs
been
today.
quiet. Let me see what did I just do? I turned off something.
Instead of mirror,
This
your
is
camera,
always a mystery to me how to do this. I'm sorry.
the little camera with the arrows on it usually spins you around.
No, that isn't how. Virtual background. It didn't come.
Not virtual background, just a spin around camera.
No, I got to do camera facing back. Is that right there?
Hey, there she is. All right. Let's maximize you. Boom. Now we can see all of you.
Oh, nice bucket there.
Hello.
Okay, there we go. We do clean.
Yeah.
Here's some 5-month-old puppies, 4-month-old puppies. These are big girl and a boy. I assume they're German Shepherd, maybe. Can you see them?
Oh,
Yeah.
Adorable.
They are. They're definitely a mix because the floppy ears are not German Shepherd ears, but they do look like shepherds.
Well, we don't guarantee. These are transport dogs.
Yeah,
So
right.
We get what we get, and we don't throw a fit. Yeah. And then around the corner, I'm missing all the wonderful cats. Here's our other puppies. Get excited.
Oh, man.
So we brought in 5 puppies today.
Oh.
Now, I'm not sure what these are. These are about the same age.
They almost look like they got some beagle in them, don't they?
They look like they might have a little longer hair than a beagle.
Yeah. Well, beagle mix, obviously, but I don't know. I love the coloring on them.
Yeah, they're cute. So I think there's a girl and 2 boys. I'm not going to look under to find out. We are 3 girls. What are they? Aussie. Okay. Okay, did you hear that? Aussie-Shepherd-Lab.
Wow.
So they did DNA testing, and that's what they got.
I love that one with the little white around his nose. Her nose.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute.
Chewing on a toy. Oh, boy. It's got blue eyes. They're all girls. It's really cute.
Yeah.
They're gonna be big puppies,
kinda looks-
though. And we're kind of full. We've got lots of cats. This is like the blind. I was kind of surprised by that.
They were in a basement all their lives.
Oh,
And they're scared. So they eat if you put that up.
okay. So those are some of our kitties in the back. We're completely full. We're very full. We're bursting at the seams. Was I thought a few weeks ago we were almost empty. So,
It's spring adoption season, people.
well,
Time to adopt.
and we're not into kitten season yet. Well, not full. Don't undo my radio thing. I said we're not into kitten season yet, and someone behind me said, yes, we are.
Well, there's some out there. There's always
There
some
are.
out there.
There's one, Valentina.
No. girl.
Yes.
Valentina.
We always, I don't know, people understand we do pink for girls and blue for boys. So it's easy to come through the shelter if you're looking for whatever. And then here's our March adoptions. You ready?
Nice. There was only 2 and 1 last week. 2 cats, 1 dog.
So Nico, Mickey was my foster, Liberty, and Delilah. So it's always nice to keep track of that.
Yeah, nice.
So it's kind of quiet today.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Well, nice tour of the place, and
the dogs probably would not be available this week, but
awesome.
And they're in bed.
Thanks for the tour. What am I missing here? That's what I missed. Let me just go back to this. We do have, I've got this overlay thing. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. It's the big number of the week. Look at all those.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty big number right there.
Wow.
Our big number of the week this week is 57,789. 57,789. I actually did this week. Where'd you go? Right.
We have a
here.
fancy score pad.
Look at that. It's on the screen. Big number of the week. 57,789 is the answer. Relief or Russia. So we're going to give you the answer now. Are you ready to give the answer?
I am ready.
He's ready. Joann, are you ready?
He wants to win, so he's ready.
All right.
I don't care one way or the other.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Relief.
You both went with relief.
Yep.
Seriously. Interesting. Okay.
By the way, I'm looking at the thing, Ben. It was baccalaureate, not bachelorette. Baccalaureate.
That's good.
But anyway,
Well,
either way,
I was wondering what that was. They were trying to spell baccalaureate.
Yeah, baccalaureate. Either way, it was a tough word. We did. Yeah, he put bachelorette. Yeah, baccalaureate.
To see if they could spell bachelorette.
That's really close spelling, though, Ben.
Is that one of your friends?
That's one of our viewers today.
I know, but I thought it was one of Tom's friends.
Yeah, he's got bachelorette and Trojan brand. I don't know where he's going with all this, but
that was we were talking about the logos on the Major League Baseball uniform.
Yeah, that's true. I know. Yeah,
that's what that was about. You're both getting a point. Congratulations, a Georgia man was sentenced on Monday to 3 years in prison. Guess what he did? He used COVID relief money to buy a Pokemon card for $57,789. You goofy.
Are you serious?
You goofy.
I usually tell people to get a hobby. Wow.
Yeah,
$57,000 for a card.
Charizard Pokemon card. So, hope it was a good investment, dude. Many companies have distanced themselves from Russia. McDonald's was notably quiet. But now I believe they have pulled their stores from Russia. They shut them down. They have 847 locations in Russia. That's 9% of McDonald's revenue comes from the country of Russia. So for them to shut down is a big deal. And it sounds like that's what they did do. How about that? Anyway.
Well, that was your other answer. So we got, what's the score now? 3-8?
It is now 3-8. You got a ways to catch up. I don't know if Tom's going to get 5 in a row wrong.
I'll take the next 5 weeks off. You can catch up.
Ha ha.
All righty. Well, we're going to go and play around with the screen because that's what I like to do at the end of the show. Remember, friends, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone this week. We'll try to do the same and meet you back here for another Saturday morning Stateline show. Guys, have a great weekend.
You too, bud. You too, Glenn. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.